Welcome back to another gripping true crime story, where the line between justice and tragedy is razor thin. Today, we're diving into the infamous murder of Maria Martin in 1827, a case that shocked England and became one of its most talked about criminal mysteries. Grab your seat as we walk you through this chilling tale of love, betrayal, and a search for justice. The year is 1827, and we're in the rural village of Polstead, Suffolk, England. Life here is quiet, but like most small communities, it's also full of secrets. Maria Martin, a young woman in her 20s, was about to become the center of a scandal that would echo through the centuries. She worked as a servant in the household of her stepfather, and she had a simple, yet humble life. That is, until she met William Corder, a charming young man who would lead her down a dark and tragic path. Maria and William's relationship began innocently enough. She was in love with him, and he, in turn, seemed to have genuine affection for her. However, their romance quickly turned into a turbulent affair filled with lies, deceit, and ultimately, murder. Maria became pregnant by William, and this is where the tragedy deepens. In 1827, an unmarried woman with child was scandalous socially, morally, and legally. William, knowing that Maria's pregnancy would ruin his reputation and his future prospects, began to distance himself from her. In fact, he even denied that he was the father, leaving Maria in an increasingly desperate position. As time went on, Maria's situation became more desperate. In a final attempt to restore her dignity and escape the social stigma, Maria met with William one evening and arranged to meet him at the infamous Red Barn, a secluded spot just outside of Polstead. On May 18, 1827, Maria told her family that she was meeting William there to discuss their future. She was never seen alive again. What happened that night in the Red Barn remains one of the most haunting mysteries in British criminal history. William Corder, who had invited Maria to the barn under the pretense of marriage, brutally murdered her, shooting her at point-blank range. But William didn't stop there. After Maria fell to the ground, he covered her body with straw and dirt, hiding it beneath the floorboards of the barn. For days, no one suspected a thing. William, ever the manipulator, continued to tell Maria's family that she had simply run off, claiming she'd left him behind for another man. However, the Martin family wasn't convinced. They knew something was terribly wrong. After several weeks of fruitless searching, Maria's mother decided to take action. With growing suspicion, Maria's family enlisted the help of a local man named Thomas Martin, who was a friend of the family. They began to search for Maria, and on June 19th, just a month after her disappearance, they found her body in the Red Barn. Her body was badly decomposed, but it was still recognizable. The most chilling part? The discovery of a bullet hole in her skull, confirming that Maria had been murdered. The discovery of Maria's body set off a chain of events that would lead to William Corder's trial. He was arrested and the case quickly became a media sensation. The trial was held in the Suffolk Assizes, and it was one of the most widely covered legal proceedings in British history at the time. During the trial, William tried to maintain his innocence, even claiming that he had been framed for Maria's murder. But the evidence against him was overwhelming. The fact that he had lured Maria to the barn with the promise of marriage, only to shoot her in cold blood, was enough to convince the jury of his guilt. Maria's stepfather testified about the last time he saw her, and several witnesses confirmed that William had been seen acting strangely in the days following Maria's disappearance. In the end, William Corder was convicted of murder and sentenced to death by hanging. On August 11, 1827, William Corder was executed by hanging in front of a crowd of onlookers. His death marked the end of one of the most infamous murder cases in British history. But the story didn't end there. The murder of Maria Martin had a lasting impact on the community of Polstead. It became the subject of numerous books, plays, and ballads. The Red Barn, once a symbol of tragedy, has been immortalized in folklore, and Maria's story continues to be told and retold even today. Maria Martin's story serves as a haunting reminder of the dangers that lie beneath the surface of romantic relationships. It also highlights the resilience of her family, who never gave up on finding the truth, even when it seemed too late. If you found this story as shocking and tragic as I did, make sure to give this video a like and share it with others. And if you want to hear more true crime stories like this one, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I have much more content coming your way, so stay tuned. Until next time, stay safe and remember to always seek justice.